Good morning. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Coffee and Compliance. We're going to be discussing and answering questions today about what's hype and what's real with AI and compliance. I'm Holly Waters-Marsh from Urban Fox Marketing, and I'm speaking to Swapan, the CEO of Deeplai. In today's session, we will be covering how companies can distinguish meaningful AI-driven value from hype, how AI is currently used in supply chain compliance, and the danger of AI washing, so that's tools that claim more than they deliver. AI is fast becoming the buzzword of choice in compliance. Every platform claims to be smarter, faster, and more automated. However, in natural product supply chains, compliance isn't about clever algorithms alone. It's about trust, traceability, and being able to prove what happened, where, and when. In this episode, we're looking at what's real and what's just hype when it comes to AI in compliance platforms. We'll explore where AI is already delivering value, where it falls short, and why strong data foundations and human involvement matter more than any algorithm. And we'll also discuss the risks of over-reliance on automation, the importance of accountability, and how companies can adopt AI responsibly without losing control of their compliance obligations. So, Swapan, if we go back to the initial focus points for our discussion, the first one there is, how can companies distinguish meaningful AI-driven value from hype?
Good morning. This topic of AI, it's a topic we could discuss for a long time, but we have just limited here. We need to think about it that first, we human have created AI. Yeah, so that's the first point, and here we need to understand so how we're going to use it, and we see that more and more we can automate different processes, but the key question which needs to be asked is who is accountable for the results which the AI systems will deliver? And the accountability from different, perspectives, from business perspective, legal perspective, or even operational perspective is run by us as human. Yeah. So we need to have a clear understanding how we can use the outcome of the AI, which we can apply in different processes, and obviously how we can trust the outcome. So we see it that, and not only in our industry, but in many industries, that the more AI is being in use, the more the question is being asked, what is the level where we can still trust the outcome and understand the outcome. Yeah. So the recommendation is really here, just get us more efficient, but don't get ourselves in the bubble of AI that is a magic thing which can solve for us everything. Yeah, but hopefully we're still human. We need to be here on the planet in the in the future. So yes, let's try to move with our understanding what and how needs to be done, but still let's keep the processes under our accountability.
Definitely. And how is AI currently used in supply chain compliance?
It's used for multiple segments. Yeah, so we can say it's used for the in a real and a big value of automating of processes. Yeah, which is great. We can use it for anomaly detection, risk flagging. Yeah, we can put different areas here where it can be, used. Yeah, but still, as I was saying, it's not fully autonomous compliance decision maker. Yeah, it's still we human need to take the decision. How do we assess the outcome which the AI is delivering. And very importantly, needs to be said here, we're under the EU AI Act. So happy reading, yeah, I think hundreds of pages, and understanding how we can really use in a legal framework the outcome of the AI. Yeah. So very importantly, that is the recommendation for everyone who is looking at various processes where it needs and can be, I mean, used. Just we need to really take care that we're doing it accordingly to the regulations.
Absolutely. And what is the danger of AI washing?
Yeah, it's greenwashing, AI washing, where everywhere, here where we're seeing nice slogans, and which are used by different companies and individuals to achieve some goals. Yeah. Um, when we're looking at what we are doing, we're saying yes, we are using AI in all means which we can, with the full accountability and control what we're doing. Yeah? So by creating the tools which the clients are using, they need to be secure and get the right support from us as a supplier of services to make, first of all, their life easy, but on the other hand, also make them understand that we're really accountable for what we're doing. So when I'm observing, I'm very active. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm observing different individuals who pretend to be experts, and all what they're publishing is copy paste from Chat GPT or from other. I'm just wondering how they're building their future and their personal, I would say, I mean, face on the social, I mean, in the media, because it's very easy today to distinguish what is being published and served as a AI output and what is done by a human. And I'm really grateful when somebody is reaching out. I mean to me and saying, wow, that was a great comment. And yeah, I can see it's human. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's a real danger. Great. Okay, so looking at some further questions here then. So why is it essential still to have that human in the process or in the loop?
Um, yeah, it's very essential because as I was saying, yeah, you need a judgment of the output. So if you cannot have the right level of knowledge to assess the output, don't publish it. Yeah, because you need really to be accountable. You need to be ethical. Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, you should not just publish any content which looks nice,
Mm.
but by looking nice, it's not the right is not the right approach. Yeah. So let's also understand the legal accountability. I mentioned also, the EU AI Act. Yeah. What I'm seeing and what's happening on the market, there are really not many players are taking care of it. Yeah. But by not understanding what I need to do or how I need to do, yeah, doesn't mean that I can do it. Yeah. So to also build here on a example which is very related to this supply chain where we are. So we're looking at the transparency and traceability in the supply chain. Yeah. So there is a different level of approach to the documentation we are receiving for our client. But now some regulations are demanding for us to assess the documentations which is received by the client of our client until the source. Yeah. So
Mm.
we have a multiple stages in the supply chain, in the stakeholders. Yeah. So we need to be very careful if we're using AI, how do we address the documentation received from different the country, different the company. We need to understand that if we want really to use different, I mean, tools, first level of what we need to take care of is GDPR. Yeah, any personal data not just need to be anonymized. Yeah,
Mm.
other data also need to be protected. You need to understand. You need to try to segment for the purpose of doing AI analysis, rename them in object one, object two, object three, yeah, etc. So you need to understand how you want to use the AI tools in a legal way in order to get the output. Yeah. I'm not talking about to understand where the servers where I'm sending my documentation are placed. Yeah, that is obviously number one. We need to understand. Yeah, are
Mm.
they within EU or they're outside of EU? It's etc. So we see here that yeah, AI, let's do it, move for it. Yeah, wow. Yeah,
Mm.
two steps back and try to
Yeah.
understand what I can do and how I shall protect myself based on the legal requirements around AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, it's about using AI as a tool rather than relying on it completely. Okay, so how can AI help support with compliance data management in the natural supply chain?
Yeah, especially in the natural supply chain, the level of documentation gathering is huge. Yeah. Where we don't have here the capability is in other industries just to scan a QR code or a barcode and try to get back to the traceability element. Yeah. Here we're on the compliance part. We really need to gather the relevant information, which is reliable, verifiable, and which is giving us the proof of the source of the material. So when we think about natural supply chains as an example, yeah, rubber. Rubber is coming from rubber to trees. There is a process, yeah, etc., etc. So it's very complex. Yeah, it's very complex of the level of documentation we need to gather and the processes to have in place. So especially on natural products, we need to be aware that the level of documentation is high, and the requirement of the right assessment of the documentation is also important, and so we need to build in different processes. How do we do classification of documentation? How we do cross-checking of documentation? Yeah, how we maintain the records within the systems that they're auditable. Yeah,
Mm.
that we're sure that the level of documentation we're gathering at that moment can be auditable, different regulation, 5 years, 10 years, yeah, and
Mm.
you need to make sure that you're coming back and you're there. So there are a lot of specifics in the natural supply chain which you need to understand
Yeah.
and implement the processes accordingly.
And a really important question here, actually. So, where does the legal obligation sit, for example? Can any errors be blamed on AI?
Yeah, here we need to come from the perspective of the regulatory obligations, which are meeting our businesses to get transformed. Yeah, so we're having the EUDR, we're having digital product passport, we're having the forced labor regulation. All processes which are requiring due diligence processes are based on the gathering of documentation and assessing the documentation, mitigating any risks which we can face within this supply chain. So the legality element is very, very important. Yeah. And also, real life is bringing, I would say, situations which sometimes are difficult to be predicted, but once they're happening, we need to take care of them. So, as an example, we're receiving a document as a certificate, as an example, and somebody edited on a PDF the date of the validity. That is very, very important that we are aware of it. Yeah. So here we can use, for example, the AI, tools to check the validity date in the databases of the bodies which are creating these certificates, are publishing the certificates. Yeah. So there are ways how we can really support our clients in this processes. Yeah. So some process they can be automated. Some process still requires the human eye on what's happening. And it is mostly, that's the recommendation. You should know your suppliers. Yeah. They should know their suppliers. Yeah. It's all about business ethics. Yeah. And if are willing randomly to pick up a supplier because there is a good deal, be sure that there is something behind it. Yeah. Maybe on the legality element. Yeah. So that's all how you're running your business, how you want to understand what and when needs to be done. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so then where are companies overestimating what AI can do for compliance today?
Yeah, it's quite often we see it that some companies are using available AI tools by asking them questions which shouldn't be asked. Yeah. So, as an example, I'm submitting a document and asking the AI, is it legal? Yeah.
Hmm.
AI
Yeah.
will give us an opinion. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, especially if we have a paid account. Yeah. Yeah. But the question is, what do we do with that comment from AI? Yeah.
Mm.
So it's here all about. We mentioned that it's about our accountability of how do we use the AI, and we just need to use it as a tool, as something which is under our control. And then we just, make your daily work as efficient as possible. You need to have it under your control. And then it's great. It's perfect. It's great that we're having it and we can use it. But don't overestimate and don't get in a blind trap that you believe that the assessment of AI is there and you are happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't do that. Yeah.
absolutely. And I think there's a misunderstanding. I think there's a lot of it goes back to AI washing about people just um, using traditional software that's posing as AI and just understanding what that difference is. is really important for businesses as well. Okay, so where is AI already delivering real value and traceability in compliance systems?
It's about the data processing. I mean mostly about the anomaly detection, red flagging. Yeah, it's helping us. We got hundreds of suppliers, thousands of documents. Yeah, as human, we cannot just one by one assess all of them. Yeah.
Mm,
How we should approach it. Yeah, we should approach it in the way that use the tools as we do to just highlight where we as a human should have an eye on a supplier, on a delivery, and then basically go through the documentation and try to assess it if everything is fine. Yeah, I think the important part about it is because some organizations are overestimating that AI can do everything. We need to look at our supply chain, at our suppliers. They need to look at their suppliers in a long term. I mean vision. Yeah. So if, as an example, in our decentralized supply chain approach, we know exactly who has filed what document when. We have his accountability on the fork, as said. Yeah. And, if somebody is manipulating or misusing our trust, we'll find it out. Yeah. And then we can make him accountable from the business perspective because we know exactly who filed when, which document. So it's also about the processes you put in place. And as I said, AI is a great additional tool just to give us more efficiency if we do it in the right way. Yeah?
definitely. Okay, and can AI reliably support supplier risk scoring and due diligence?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we can do that, and that is the way we are approaching it. Yeah. So if you look, and I think the wider the scale is, we're using, let's say, from 1 to 10. Yeah, and then you can see that certain elements can be assessed by AI, so that's why you can get the level of scoring, certain not, as we have explained that. Yeah. So if we can understand that there are some documents which basically need human eye, the scoring will help us, just to, as I say, make our work efficient. Yeah, and focus our time and energy in that areas which are flagged. Yeah, but also to come back, we're still talking that we're reviewing a transaction, which is one of the, let's say, multiple transaction with one client. Yeah, so we can also assess what are the other transaction. Maybe that was a human error of that client in this transaction. So there are multiple things, but mostly it is related to build the trust with our suppliers in the supply chain. Yeah, and the tools,
Mm,
of course, will help us to make simply our work more efficient. Yeah.
great. And the next question here is, what are the risks of adopting point solutions that don't connect to the wider compliance system?
Yeah, we can see that. I mean today, so without a compliance platform and understanding, that you need to assess the documentation the clients are receiving by a transfer. I don't know, 50 megabytes, 100 megabytes of sets of documentation. They do not know what to do, how to structure them, how to understand them. So it takes a lot of time. It is very inefficient. The key element, how we should approach the compliance, is just to use one database to multiple regulatory requirements which we need to I mean face. Otherwise, we have silos of documents, somewhere on digital asset management, I mean systems, which we don't know from whom we got when,
Mm.
who is accountable for them, and who assess them. So yeah, I mean, we need to get really out of the old school of the digital asset management, which was there like 20 years ago, where we're trying to just keep the data in a digital format. Yeah. So now that is over. Now we need to assess the data, and we need to know exactly who delivered what data.
Yeah. Okay, and you've mentioned the EU AI Act a few times throughout our discussion. So, how do you think regulations like this are likely to affect AI use in compliance platforms?
Yes, I mean, we were waiting for the AI Act for a long time, so we're happy it is there because we need it, and the multiple regulations which are coming to for our businesses, for example, the NIS2, yeah, for the cyber security, and any other supply chain regulations which we're talking about, all needs to be understood by what and how we're allowed to do upon the AI Act. Yeah. So here, what I can observe is if today vast majority even don't understand what they need to do on a simple regulation, I think they don't understand what they need to do on the EU AI Act. Yeah.
Mm.
So first, I would say get uh, get the understanding that the human oversight is needed here. And if you do not really understand and know, what can you do? First learn and then do, not do it the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, are there any frameworks that companies can put in place before they deploy AI for compliance?
Oh yeah, there are multiple frameworks, yeah, and the question is which framework you want to use, yeah, and that's also related to the previous question about the AI Act, yeah.
Mm.
So by making the choice of the framework, we want to use the partner who is supporting us, yeah. We should also look at it from that perspective, that if we do not know, let's choose a partner who knows and can
Mm.
give us a full level of service. Yeah, let's try to buy a service than to learn
Mm.
ourselves everything. Yeah, because it's impossible. Yeah, let's focus on our core. I mean, business. If we're a furniture producer, we're great in designs, we're great in material choice, in understanding the customer needs, etc., etc. Let's focus on that and keep the compliance element to the available frameworks on the market, the companies who will support you with the right level, not only of the frameworks itself, but with the entire implementation, which is needed really, because you need really to get the full support. And it's almost impossible to every company, especially in the medium size level companies or small companies, is able to have here the right approach and understanding of all what needs to be done.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you so much, Swap. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Coffee and Compliance. And thank you again, everybody, for joining us today. So, in summary, we've discussed how businesses can cut through AI hype to see true value and how it's currently being used for compliance in supply chains. And then we've also touched on what AI washing means and how it can be damaging. And I've also addressed how important it is not to rely completely on technology, but to ensure that a human is part of the process to check the outcome. So that's essential. So join us again next Thursday, the 12th of March at 9:30 GMT, and we're going to be talking about why traceability and accountability now define compliance from source to end product, with some perspectives from some other industry supply chains. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.